I still can't believe it happened. My girlfriend, the woman I thought I was going to marry, completely transformed her face without a single word to me. And not for the better. We're talking about lip filler, but taken to an extreme that honestly made her unrecognizable, almost grotesque. And when I confronted her, her reaction was something I never could have predicted. Something that tore our entire relationship apart in a matter of hours. Was I wrong for being completely horrified by what she did to herself? Tell me if you would have done the same thing, because I'm still reeling from the whole mess. Okay, let me start from the beginning. My girlfriend, Sarah, and I had been together for 5 years. 5 amazing years, or so I thought. We met in college, fell in love, moved in together, and had even started casually talking about marriage and kids. She was beautiful, vibrant, intelligent, and had this natural, effortless charm that I absolutely adored. She had full lips already, naturally, nothing that ever needed altering. In fact, I used to tell her all the time how perfect they were, how they framed her smile, and she'd always blush and playfully swat my arm. She was generally pretty confident about her appearance, never really obsessed over flaws or talked about getting cosmetic procedures. We were just happy. Our relationship was built on trust, open communication, and a shared vision for the future. Or so I believed. A few months ago, things started to shift subtly. Sarah got a new job in a different industry, one that was, for lack of a better term, a bit more image-focused. She started dressing a little differently, talking about new beauty trends she was seeing online, and spending more time on her makeup. I didn't think much of it at first. People evolve, and I supported her exploring new aspects of herself. She mentioned wanting to freshen up her look a few times, specifically mentioning wanting to try a tiny bit of lip filler, just to enhance her natural shape. I remember her showing me some Instagram photos of celebrities with what she called natural-looking enhancements. I told her I honestly didn't think she needed it, but if it made her feel good, a tiny bit wouldn't hurt, as long as she didn't go overboard. My exact words were, "Just don't go full Kylie Jenner on me, okay?" She laughed, promised she wouldn't, and we dropped the subject. I truly thought it was a casual conversation, a passing thought, something she might consider in the distant future, if at all. Then came the trip. Sarah's new job required her to attend a week-long conference out of state. It was a big deal for her, a chance to network and make a good impression. I was supportive, helped her pack, drove her to the airport, and wished her well. We texted and called every day, as usual. She sounded excited, a little stressed, but nothing seemed out of the ordinary. She said she was having a great time meeting interesting people and learning a lot. I missed her, but I was also proud of her. The day she was supposed to come home, I went all out. I cleaned the apartment, bought her favorite flowers, cooked her favorite meal, and even chilled a bottle of wine. I was so excited to see her, to hear all about her trip, and just to have her back in my arms. I waited by the door, heart pounding with anticipation. When she finally walked in, my jaw literally dropped. It wasn't Sarah. Not the Sarah I knew. The woman standing in my doorway had lips that looked like 2 overinflated sausages. They protruded from her face in a way that defied gravity, making her entire mouth look swollen and distorted. Her top lip especially was massive, practically touching her nose, and the Cupid's bow was completely obliterated. It looked painful, and frankly terrifying. Her whole face seemed different, out of proportion. Her eyes, which used to sparkle with life, now looked small and almost lost in comparison to the sheer size of her new mouth. She had a strange, stiff smile, almost as if her lips were too big to move naturally. I stood there, frozen, flowers still in my hand. My carefully prepared dinner forgotten. All I could do was stare. I must have looked like an idiot. She smiled a little awkwardly and said, "Hey babe. Missed you." The words sounded muffled, almost like she was speaking through a barrier. My mind raced. What had happened? Had she had an allergic reaction? Was this a terrible medical emergency? "Sarah," I stammered. What happened to your face? Are you okay? Did you get stung by a bee?" She laughed, a short, nervous laugh. "No. Silly. I got my lips done. Surprise." She then puckered her monstrous lips in a way that made my stomach churn. "Don't you love them? They're so much fuller now, aren't they? It's the latest technique, Everyone at the conference was raving about it. My blood ran cold. This wasn't a bee sting. This was intentional. This was permanent, or at least semi-permanent. This was the exact opposite of the tiny bit she had mentioned. This was a grotesque exaggeration. I felt a wave of nausea, followed by a surge of anger. "Sarah," I said, my voice barely a whisper. "What have you done? They're enormous. They're not you." Her face fell. The awkward smile vanished, replaced by a defensive frown. "What do you mean? Not me. This is me. This is an improved me. Everyone at the clinic said they look amazing. They're just swollen right now, they'll go down." "Go down," I retorted, my voice rising. "Go down to what? They look like they're about to burst." "Sarah, we talked about this. You said a little bit. This is not a little bit. This is extreme." I felt like I was staring at a stranger. All the joy and excitement I had felt just moments before had completely evaporated, replaced by a profound sense of shock and betrayal. How could she do something so drastic to her own face, our shared life, without even a word? Without consulting me, her partner of 5 years? She started getting defensive. "It's my body, my choice. I don't need your permission to do what I want with my face. And you know what? I like them. You're just being a jerk because you don't like change." "Change?" I practically yelled. "This isn't just change, Sarah. This is a complete transformation. You look like a completely different person. I don't recognize you. How could you do this without talking to me first?" The conversation quickly devolved into a heated argument. I tried to explain that it wasn't about her choice in a vacuum. It was about the profound impact it had on our relationship, on how I saw her, and on the future we had envisioned. I felt like she had fundamentally altered her appearance in a way that I found deeply unattractive, even unsettling, and had completely blindsided me with it. She, on the other hand, accused me of being controlling, superficial, and unsupportive. She said I was shallow for caring about something so trivial. Trivial? This wasn't trivial. This was her entire face. The argument went on for hours. She retreated to the bedroom, crying, and I sat on the couch, staring at the untouched dinner, feeling a chasm open between us. I couldn't wrap my head around it. Was I the bad guy here? Was I supposed to pretend I thought her new lips were beautiful, even when they made me recoil? Was I supposed to just accept this radical change without feeling hurt or betrayed by the lack of communication? The next few days were excruciating. She continued to insist that I was overreacting, that they would settle. I tried to be patient, to see if my initial shock would wear off, but every time I looked at her, I felt that same pang of disappointment and discomfort. Her lips dominated her face. She couldn't eat normally. She struggled to articulate certain words, and she was constantly touching them, as if trying to get used to the foreign sensation. She even looked different when she slept, her mouth slightly agape, revealing the unnatural plumpness. Our physical intimacy, which had always been a cornerstone of our relationship, completely vanished. I couldn't bring myself to kiss those lips. I felt guilty, like I was rejecting her, but it was an involuntary reaction. I couldn't help it. I tried to talk to her again, calmly this time. I explained that it wasn't just the appearance but the secrecy. "Sarah," I said, "we always talked about everything. Why didn't you tell me you were going to do this? Why didn't you show me pictures of what you actually planned to do, instead of those natural ones?" She got angry again. "Because I knew you'd react like this. You try to talk me out of it. I wanted to do it for me. And it's not like it's a permanent tattoo or something. It'll dissolve eventually." "Eventually?" I asked, incredulous. "How long is eventually? 6 months? A year? Are we supposed to just live like this until then? And what if you decide to get them refilled? Or get more? Where does it stop?" She just stared at me, her eyes narrowed. "So what? Are you saying you don't love me anymore because of my lips?" That was the kicker. The question that hung in the air, heavy and loaded. I honestly didn't know how to answer. I loved the person she was, the Sarah I knew. But this new physical manifestation, coupled with the profound breach of trust and the complete disregard for my feelings, was shaking the foundations of that love. So that's the situation I was in. and I had to make a choice. Here I was looking at a woman who was technically my girlfriend, but who felt like a stranger. My entire perception of her, of us, had been shattered. Before I tell you what happened next, I want you to pause and comment below what you would have done in my shoes. Would you have been able to look past it? Would you have accepted this drastic change? Or would this have been a deal breaker for you too? The truth is, I couldn't pretend. I tried, believe me. I tried to convince myself that looks don't matter, that her personality was still the same. But every time I looked at her, every time she spoke, every time I saw those disproportionate, unnatural lips, a wall went up. The intimacy was gone. The easy affection we once shared was replaced by an awkward tension. I started avoiding eye contact. I found myself making excuses to stay late at work, or to go out with friends, just to avoid being home. It was pathetic and I knew it, but I couldn't bring myself to face her, or those lips, every single day. One evening, about 2 weeks after she got the filler, we were watching TV. Or rather, I was pretending to watch TV while she was scrolling on her phone. The silence in the apartment was deafening, a stark contrast to the lively chatter that used to fill our home. I finally broke it. Sarah. I began, my voice trembling slightly. We need to talk. Really talk. She put her phone down, her face impassive. About what? My lips again? Yes, I said, taking a deep breath. About your lips and about us. Sarah, I'm going to be honest with you, and it's going to be hard to hear. I can't do this. I can't pretend that this is okay. I can't pretend that I'm attracted to you like this, and I can't get past the fact that you did this without even discussing it with me. It feels like you made a massive decision about your appearance, about our shared future, completely on your own, and it's fundamentally changed how I see you. Her eyes widened, and for a moment, I saw a flicker of vulnerability, but it was quickly replaced by rage. So that's it? You're breaking up with me because of my lips? Because I chose to do something for myself. Her voice was getting louder, the words becoming more clipped. It's not just the lips, Sarah, I tried to explain. It's what they represent. It's the secrecy, the lack of communication, the complete disregard for how this might affect us. I feel like I don't even know you anymore. The woman I fell in love with was confident and beautiful in her natural skin, and she would have talked to me about something this big. You're unbelievable, she shrieked, jumping off the couch. You're shallow and selfish. I don't need your approval. I don't need you. If you can't love me for who I am, then get out. Get out of my apartment. Our apartment, Sarah. I corrected her, trying to remain calm, even though my heart was pounding. We both pay rent here. Not anymore, she yelled, tears now streaming down her face, making her already distorted features even more jarring. I want you out. I want you gone. I never want to see you again. The argument escalated into a full-blown shouting match. She started throwing things. Not at me, thankfully, but at the wall, at the floor. A vase shattered. She accused me of every imaginable flaw, called me every name under the sun. My accusations of her betrayal were met with her own accusations of my superficiality. It was a vicious, painful cycle, and I realized in that moment that there was no coming back from this. The trust was obliterated. The respect was gone. I didn't want to leave, but I knew staying would only make things worse. So I walked into our bedroom, started packing a bag with essentials, and by the time I was done, she had retreated to the living room, sobbing uncontrollably. I walked out, not saying another word, feeling a profound sadness wash over me. 5 years gone. Over a pair of lips. The aftermath was messy, as you can imagine. We had to sort out the apartment lease, divide our belongings, and deal with all the mutual friends who were caught in the crossfire. Sarah told everyone that I broke up with her because I was superficial and couldn't handle her self-improvement. Some friends sided with her, calling me shallow. Others, who had seen her new lips, privately expressed their shock and confusion, understanding my predicament. It was a deeply isolating experience.